Beyond Reach podcast gives the voice to brands, athletes, organizations in the outdoor space industry. Through open conversation, you're going to discover their stories, their successes and challenges, but also their vision. Welcome to the podcast. Well, welcome back, Christina. I'm very happy to have you again. If you missed the first episode with Christina, we had a wonderful discussion about her story and what she did in the past, just to remember you. But I invite you again to watch the episode. She's a pioneer. She was a bobsleigh athlete. She pushed that sport to get the woman into that sport. And she's also a brain injury advocate, as she had some accidents, as bobsleigh is pretty dangerous. But she's also working for an organization called enhanced.org. And today we're going to focus just on that because it's a very interesting subject. Yeah, it might be a bit hard to understand at the very beginning, but once you deep dive, I promise that you're not going to regret this. So first thing first, how are you doing? It's been like a month without talking to you. How have you been?
I've been great. It's been a very exciting time in my life and feeling very blessed to be part of such a amazing journey that I'm on with an amazing team.
Nice. So yeah, can you tell us, like, before we did dive, can you describe quickly what is Enhanced?
Yes. So Enhanced is a new company, and we're launching a 21st version of the Olympics. And essentially, it's a high octane, just amazing sporting event that will showcase 5 different categories of sport, from athletics, aquatics, gymnastics, combat, and strength. And we're looking to host it across a series of locations around the world. And we're currently in the process of going out and looking for cities, to host this, looking for the best backdrops, the best locations, whether it's innovative, whether it's, they're advanced in science and maybe even, in the movie industry. We're looking to reuse facilities, and it's a amazing thing that we're doing. We're pioneers, and we're really blowing the top off of sports and science.
Cool. So yeah, like I said, it could be a bit of a, oh, but we just had the Olympics, so why is she talking about recreating the Olympics? What is this? First thing first, what do you like? We're gonna try to make the bridge between the Olympics, the official Olympics, and the Olympics that you're talking about. What did you think about those Olympics? Was it successful? And what's your best memory about it?
Oh my goodness. It was a lovely Olympics. I mean, especially for my country. I mean, there were so many firsts, so many accomplishments. I'm so proud of all of our athletes, and at the same time across the world. It's a very memorable event for me in my life. It changed my life. I wouldn't be here sitting with you speaking about sports if it wasn't for being an Olympian. And so I cherish every Olympics that I get to either participate in or watch or volunteer in or commentate in. It's been part of my life, and even through schooling. So it's a very important time. However, what I'm embarking on right now with an amazing team and leadership is something that is very needed in the world, and that's the enhanced games.
Okay, so now let's try to make that bridge slowly. So, just to prepare you kind of like on that subject. So basically, in the Olympics, athletes are allowed to take certain types of products, but they are not allowed to take other stuff, and what we call in the quote unquote normal world. So can you and in the Inens, so Inens is not just on the Olympics, like Christina is saying that they're gonna create new Olympics. Inens Olympics is not also like it's not just that. It's also a program to help athletes, correct me if I'm wrong, but a program to help athletes to discover those products. Can you tell me more about it, more about that program?
Sure. So in essence, we're looking at a new business model. All right. So currently the Olympics has, a model that they've been using. However, ours really incorporates where the world is today and where the world is going. So we have the elements of science. Science, we are not slowing down. Science is evolving. Science is discovering things. However, there's a world that is going on that is a suppressed area of sport, and that is in the science area.
Mhm.
Once you have, as we call drug testing, then you are suppressing science. You are suppressing athletes to explore that world. There's a lot of course, natural athletes, which I was very proud to be a natural athlete. I sought so much to try to find the best ingredients, the most, you know, um, the best things to nourish my body and to help my body recover. However, a lot of those products were around, injectables, whether it were prolotherapy, neural therapy,
Mhm.
ozone therapy, vitamin intravenous, those things that could be directly put into your body to help you regenerate, recuperate, and be able to handle the rigorous, training regimes as well as flights around the world to different competitions. So there's a world of natural enhancements that, existed and that still exists and is expanding. And I was very vocal about sharing this with teammates. However, it was an area where I wasn't even aware that, it was a fine line because they were injectables versus it being like say a
Edible?
capsule,
Mhm.
something that you can ingest.
Mhm.
So that made it so called a banned method of taking these
Mhm.
supplements, which really was, as far as my naturopath and I, it was absolutely infuriating. It was ludicrous to think that natural things should be banned if it was just in the way in which they were administered. And of course, there are things that are going on that we have, heard in the media and discovered that countries all over, are doing things that are illegal and that are whether it's state operated or just the individual athlete behind the scenes, whether they're taking enhancements. And the worst thing is that they are hiding it, trying to suppress it with other enhancements or other products
Mhm.
that is making it dangerous. And they're not having the conversation with their doctors. It's
Mhm.
very, very much a scary Wild West that is going on. And we really feel at Enhance that we need to blow the top off of sports. We need to reveal what's going on. We need to discuss and make it a safe environment for athletes, for scientists, for coaches to see about advancements of high performance, but very openly, transparently. We make sure at the enhanced games that we do health testing. So we don't have drug testing. The
Yeah.
most important thing for safety is health testing, looking at their organs, looking how, within their blood and looking at biomarkers, looking at things that we can actually monitor an athlete's health and be able to consult with them, consult with their doctors, make them aware of the condition of their bodies so
Mhm.
they make the right choices. we really are a company that believes in bodily autonomy, which is my body, my choice. And so if we have, an athlete that wants to be private, well, they do not have to reveal it. However, we will still give them the update on their body's condition,
Mm-hmm.
on how things are working. We will give them, red flags on what may not be working properly so that they can be aware. And if it's to the point that they are endangering themselves, that is when we are able to, with our doctors, and that say, I'm sorry, but you're in a dangerous zone here and you cannot compete
Yeah.
based on the condition of your body. So we also have and encourage natural athletes to come and to compete in our games as well. Prove yourselves, prove that your DNA is superior and that you can beat anybody, whether they're on enhancements or not. And and of course, those athletes that are on enhancements, no judgment. We encourage you to come, be part of our games, let us explore with you and guide you and really have a very transparent environment. So we're learning. Scientists are super excited about this. We've contacted and they've contacted us from all over the world, that they're so, excited to expand their knowledge, their research. We're
Yeah.
able to bring research to the world, and the commoners, people who are out there who are interested, they're able to then learn from this experience and it not be so-called a stigma
Yeah.
anymore.
And so, if like I'm an athlete, I'm a natural athlete. Um, so you're saying that they are being tested, and that you have doctors that are behind them, and so they can know where they are at, and try maybe new enhanced product that they like to try, and like being like monitored by the company and the doctors that are working with you guys. um, but how does it work like practically? Like where is Hinens in that? Like is it just online? Is it do you have spaces? Like can you give us like a practical example?
Yes, no problem. Now, as we are a new company, we are growing right now. So we're just establishing, currently our headquarters is in London, England.
Right.
However, we'll be launching soon a new location in the world where we'll be establishing our headquarters.
Yeah.
And so that's very exciting. There's a move in my future. So, and also the locations where we will be setting up as well to do more research and to the envision of either having the athletes come into our headquarters to be able to conduct research and to do testing and such. So all those details are right now being discussed, are being, we're having discussions with heads of state, we're having discussions with royalty. It's a very exciting time. You have, your this interview, I'm sure in like 6 months' time will be very different
Yeah.
to information that I'm sharing today. So you're on the breaking edge of new information, and right now we are looking also at where the athletes will be coming from and their location.
Mhm.
So it's not necessarily that we're going to be making everyone come to one location
Mhm.
to live, to train. So more so, with the ones that are chosen, because it is by invite only.
Okay.
So we're looking for the highest caliber of athletes,
Yeah.
as well as athletes that are very open-minded
Mhm.
and want to explore the elements of performance enhancements, But then at the same time, we're not discouraging those that want to remain natural athletes. And that said, you had mentioned about, how about the Olympics and how about other sports that they have, say, WADA testing, the World Anti-Doping Agency testing?
Yeah.
And that's very, for me, a very interesting element of this because I look at what the enhanced games is doing, and I see it not as a competitor per se to an Olympic Games, because I really believe that we need an Olympic Games. We need a natural, 100% Olympics that goes down that path.
Mhm.
So however, we cannot no longer put our heads in the sand thinking that, there are not the curious athletes out there that want to go this route, and
Yeah.
also the athletes that are currently going down the route of enhancements.
Yeah.
And of course, the natural athletes that want to come on board as well with us. And why is it not possible that those natural athletes that could not also compete in our games, you know, and then go back to the natural Olympics? Because again, if they claim that they are natural, there shouldn't be an element that restricts them from doing that, so that's important. Plus, with all of our research and all of our studies that will be going on, with our athletes, we may, if of course the World Anti-Doping Agency as well as the IOC are in, are willing to potentially collaborate with us, they would be able to then uh, get more information to
Mhm.
fortify their testing,
Okay.
to be able to actually catch athletes that
Mhm.
are enhancing themselves better, because right now it's not actually as efficient as they think based on the results. So I believe that there's a wonderful relationship that could be formed versus, you know, a conflict or so-called competition.
Yeah.
There's something very, very, say, appealing to athletes. And I feel very fortunate because athletes are being funneled through me to
Mhm.
have discovery interviews with them. So I get to interview all the athletes as well as people who are interested in being part of our games,
Yeah.
whether scientists or doctors. And but those athletes are very excited because we are offering also monetary compensation for them. So for their sacrifices, their hard work, dedication. We believe in compensating athletes for that. So we
Mhm.
do not believe in exploiting athletes. We want to, share in the wealth as well as for world records. Currently, we have a James Magnuson, who's an Australian swimmer,
Yeah.
who has challenged us that he wants to break the world record. And we have, said, okay, if you break the world record, we will give you $1 million US. So this is huge incentive for athletes. However, it is not at the stake of not being safe. And this is very important. And so we're not looking for, the wild, crazy athletes that want to, endanger themselves. We're all about doing things very safely. And
Mhm.
this athlete is very much wanting to, be monitored and making sure that everything is done properly. So it's very responsible. We have a
Yeah.
very responsible business model, leadership, philosophy, and to move forward in what we're doing.
And so my next question was the Olympics are really turned towards the general public. Um, what you are doing is more like you said, like you're not necessarily like partnering yet with the Olympics authorities and all that world yet, because it's you're coming, like you're popping like soon. Um, but what kind of relationship do you want to have with a general public like myself or my wife, or like do you want to be known to them, and what kind of image do you want to transmit, in the sense that we are pretty much used to the Olympics, but this is very new, and lots of people are afraid of like, it's still stuff that you're experimenting. And do I want to follow this because it might cause cancer? You know what I mean? Like this health relationship with the sports world is, I think it's easy to convince, but what about the general public?
Very good question. Because one of the things that we're wanting to do is to change the language, first off, and the stigma around we call the D word drugs.
Hmm.
So there are drugs, and then there are performance enhancements or anti-aging, longevity enhancements, things like that. So there's a amazing world out there that people are very interested about. And if we do not make this transparent and start talking about it and bringing it out into mainstream, people will just be Googling,
Hmm.
researching it, ordering it from you know, pharmacies in the middle of nowhere. They have no idea the quality. They have no idea any of the background of, so it's very unsafe. So we want to, in a sense, expose what Hollywood really has been doing for decades. And and we really want to, explain to people, especially there's such a generation of people that are, have so many hangups around, their body and their body image and the false information that is given. Like you can have these abs, perfect abs in 6 weeks if you only do these workouts. And you know what? Nobody's talking about what that person is doing also in addition to those sit-ups, for example. So I really think that, there's this discouragement that is happening and the depression around, these expectations of certain things that potentially, people just need to know that certain genetics are the way that their body will be. And, if you're going after something, potentially, you may not be able to ever get that kind of body, you
Hmm.
know? And however, there may be certain things, but if you go down certain paths, for example, enhancements, there are protocols, there are ways to safeguard your body, regular blood work, there's a lot of things that we want to share with the public around this education as we evolve as a company,
Yeah.
because people are interested. And if you do not, just like cannabis, in Canada, we've made cannabis legal. Now, prior to that, my goodness, even myself, oh, people thought it would be addictive,
Mhm.
and and there's all these terrible things that people would say about it. But once they made it legal, all of a sudden science and research were, started up and things were legal to be able to do that. People were sharing the experiences, they were sharing their discoveries, they were
Mhm.
discovering that, it could help with a lot of pain, that even with cancers, there was so much that people were discovering about. And I believe that the same will occur around the performance enhancement area, the longevity, anti-aging area. The more we bring it out into the forefront and
Mhm.
we educate people, people have questions, and yeah, there's no loss, there's no wrong in doing it this way, because education is very, very valuable, and it will expand, humanity.
So, okay, that's a very complete answer. Thank you very much. And so how like say it maybe it's still in the pipes and you don't know the answer, but does that mean that you're gonna have like a YouTube channel with resources, maybe an Instagram, maybe how are you going to deliver those informations, and even moving forward with like also the in-ends games, where are they gonna be available? But I like to have the answer about like the resources. How am I going to get access to those resources?
Yeah, very good question. Now, we're actually, all these things are, like you said, in the pipeline. They are being evolved. We have a small team, but a powerful team. And everyone's been handpicked for certain areas of expertise. So all these things are being evolved. And yes, they will be, accessible to, from the studies that are coming out that we will be doing. So people will be able to really grow and learn with us. However, the athletes that are handpicked to be part of our experiences will be the bonus of being part of us is that they're going to be able to access everything within our ecosystem. So it's something very exclusive, and it'll be a big privilege to be part of this organization, as one of our ambassadors, one of our athletes. So we're in hot pursuit right now of a team of athletes, and I encourage anyone that knows of a high level athlete to reach out to me. I'm waiting for their call because we're very we're very particular with those who will be on board. And so it's anyways, I just cannot be more thrilled. And also we have influencers that have, social media sites with a lot of followers in that we're seeking as well. We're speaking with celebrities that are very excited, scientists. I mean, very big names, and I'm not going to
Okay.
drop any, but I will say that
Okay.
it's every day I wake up excited I don't call this my work. It's like my dream job. My dream mission, purpose in life, and it's something that I'm really happy that Maxime, that you're part of, and I really appreciate the support that you're providing, to get our message out.
No, you're very welcome. Even me, like asking questions today, I don't even I think realize what you're about to do. Uh, so it's also that I think I'm just coming with the question that a normal person being I would ask. So I have two more questions. The question is, when would those um finance games start, and how many athletes are you envisioning?
Mhm. Well, our target year is 2025. We are in current negotiations with broadcasters and venues. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
we've also launched as well a pursuit for host cities, to put in their proposals because we're really looking at, showcasing a lot of iconic areas around the world.
Mm-hmm.
We're also envision that, you have the fastest pool, say, in an area in the world, and that's where we would want to host the aquatic event, And so we would look to create, a matrix of, enhanced visuals. And so it's not only enhancements per se that we think of as, you know, enhancing the body of the athlete, but we're looking at enhancements in also the delivery
Yeah.
of the event. So it would be, you know, having it in various locations around the world, and the people at home would be able to have the most amazing experience, you know, sitting in their own chair and it, you know, eating their own popcorn and seeing this amazing event unfold, you know, in their living room, in their on their TV. So we really want to bring this to people around the world.
Yeah.
And one of the things is that um, for location, of course, like I said, there's no designated one that's been released at this point,
Yeah.
or multiple spots. And let me see, the amount of athletes, that's a good question. Envision it like the top, say, 8 of each of the categories, of the 5 categories. So it would be the best of the best. And we're the beautiful thing about what we're doing is that we are self-funded. So we currently have 3 billionaires that are supporting this whole vision, and of course, investors. And that includes heads of state, royalty. It's it's amazing how much support we have and how much excited investors we have. So envision that they want the best for this whole experience. And so money is not an option. You know, it's not a limitation, I should
Yeah.
say, you know, for that. So, and that is Peter Thiel, one of the co-founders of PayPal, Christian Angemeyer, who's with biotechnology, and Balaji Srinivasan, who's with like crypto as his background. So we have a lot of support around that. And yeah, it's just, it's wonderful.
Nice. Well, I was going to ask that who's behind. That was my next question, but I have a new question for you because you said that you'd like to have uh like the best of the best athletes, and you mentioned 8. And so I was like eight of for each sports. How long are all those Indians games are gonna be? Is it a week long? Is it
Oh, how long? Oh, no.
yeah.
It would be like an intense movie.
Okay.
So for us to go from, say, one sport and then go to across the world to another sport and then have that happen to the next sport. So it's about linking the technology, you know, between these sports and creating the most riveting, you know, experience at home. So the beauty of this is technology, of course, can unite anywhere in the world
Mm-hmm.
and bring the best athletes together. And also not having to have, say, people that are there, you know, selling tickets to come and to watch, you know, the one event in the stadium. This would all be almost like mini productions
Okay.
of the highest level and the most advanced technology. So it's enhanced in other ways as well.
Okay.
So, uh, you know, through AI and robotics and yeah,
Okay, so we are like stepping into the future and using like proper technology to do it, but it would be live, right?
yes, that's right. That's right. Yes. So, yeah, it's we're gonna really leverage all of the available technology that we have and really bring the experience to, you know, a person's living room so they
Mm-hmm.
feel, you know, that it's 3D. Uh, and yes, it's going to be very exciting.
Nice. And so we are talking about it right now on YouTube and on Spotify. And thanks to everybody listening and watching. Feel free to share those information uh, because there's a website, and the website is probably popping out on the screen here, and you have a link below if you want to check the website. But when are you going to promote it? Uh, because right now you're not really necessarily promoting it because you're trying to figure stuff out. So I suppose that you're not talking to everybody. You're trying to keep it small and maybe see the reaction. And when are you going to release it? What's the ideal time?
Well, that's the magic question. So I'm sure you may be one of the first to find out, but at this point, it's all going to evolve when all the important things are ready, because we have uh, doctors hard at work at a
Mhm.
lot of elements that
Yeah.
we're researching and
Mhm.
connecting the best of the best together around the world.
Yeah, it
So
takes time.
yeah, it's a work in progress.
Yeah.
And considering that we've already been on, Joe Rogan, for example, and that was one of our, little goals that we achieved prior to being a year in the making. And yeah, it's been an amazing journey so far, and I feel very, very blessed. I mean, initially being one of the Olympians that backed it at the beginning, to now being, with athlete relations and communicating with those that want to come on board, as well as, you know, medical people that it's like a big treasure hunt. One person leads you to the next person. So it's amazing. It's so much fun you know, coming to work, I would say, and really helping grow. I feel like a genuine entrepreneur, and we're such a tight team that is from all over the world, and soon to be united in
Yeah.
one country. And so that'll be soon released, where we'll be stationed. But, thanks to people like yourself, for just showing interest. It's so special for us. And we're truly creating a movement, and it's not just a job, it's not just a business. And we have so many levels within this where we will be exploring.
Hmm.
And we welcome people to, apply. We welcome people who have expertise, so yeah, it's a wonderful team. I feel like it's my other family, and we're we're doing things that is just, I think, kind of like a dream come true,
Yeah.
to really be behind something as special as this.
Well, I think we got all the information, and I'm gonna say thank you for sharing all that. I can't wait to see like the release date and all the marketing around it, and seeing that I think is gonna be great. If even me, I'm like, is this a joke? Is it? Oh, okay, okay. Like it's so. Let's see what comes, but it sounds very promising, very interesting, very futuristic in a way, like you said, like with the media and how it's going to be broadcasted and all that. So yeah, you did tease us quite a bit, so I have to say thank you for that, and thank you for releasing as much details as you can, because you probably have lots of like NDAs and stuff around you. So thank you for that. Do you have maybe a final word that you want to address?
I think if anything, if there are people out there that, whether they have the athletic talent, that, they know that they can be, or that they are untapped, or that, because I believe that there are certain athletes that just have not had an opportunity to reveal how strong they are, how fast they are, and it may be just because of their location in the world. And so we're always open to receive applications around that, as well as people who are, that have talents in different way, whether it's in business, connections, you know, we're just very open to communicate with people who are excited about what we're doing, and we welcome people to be part of our, social media, by liking us, following us, commenting about us, and we're very, we're a small team, but we're powerful. We pack a punch, and you know, we're we're going where no man or woman has ever gone before, and there's no limitations to what we're capable of. And we have some serious minds. Dr. Aaron Ping D'Souza is our leadership, and he's amazing. I feel so privileged to be under his leadership, and our team is second to none. Everyone's been handpicked, and I really feel very privileged to be on board to make a difference in the world.
Nice. Well, thank you very much. And for everybody's watching and listening, you have, like I said, all the links below that we can share as of today. And then whenever I have new links, I might put it back, or we might invite Christina back on the podcast to see how it went and have more news. Well, thank you very much for your time again.